Seriously, like what's going on in the gaming industry right now? Will it make sense or not? I don't know. I have never seen an industry like the gaming industry just start to collapse like crazy over too much budget and then laying people off. This is crazy. Just recently, Square Enix did not hit the high amount of revenue that they made from their games as of late. They have lost millions of dollars. That's a lot. That's a lot. Most of these articles I am showing y'all, yeah, it's not good. I've had a lot of issues lately with the film industry with the directions that they're taking, but what is going on in the game industry? You know, I was thinking if Sony and Microsoft end up not doing consoles anymore and they just go straight to PC, the last remaining console to stand as the champion and the one to save the gaming industry will be Nintendo. What do you want to bet? They will be the last ones standing. Isn't that crazy if that ends up being the case? Sony doesn't seem to make as much revenues with their exclusive titles as they used to back in the day. PC has gotten so advanced now that why bother unless there is an exclusive. Heck, if Square Enix is going to make a lot of buck for their product, like the recent Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, they made it exclusive for PS5, and I'm lucky enough to have the newer consoles like the PS5. But I understand people that can't afford it because, you know, consoles are expensive. While PCs are also expensive, you could get a lot more out of your PC, like on Steam or GOG. Every game from either Microsoft or PlayStation can play on here. Exclusives on PlayStation, though, that's another story. Heck, if Square Enix really wants to make more extra revenue, I wonder if they're going to have to end up importing most of their games to PC, just to make it an option. While those that want to play consoles, they could get the console version, but if they want to play on PC, there you go. It would be a win-win in a sense. I would think if Square Enix was going to be smart about it, they would go for that. I don't know what's going to happen. Man, I have never seen the gaming industry this bad. It's ridiculous. When you have Microsoft buying off Bethesda and all these other companies, same with Sony, and yet they can't seem to hit the nail. Nintendo just does their own thing, but even Nintendo has their own company issues. This is crazy.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
In the gaming industry, I mean, you could change things up a bit and make it very different, but lately, the bigger studios, they tend to just play it safe, and that's not good. But I also think it's the direction of these big company corporations that are just making dumb decisions. I really do think, though, if the console war is over, because the fact that Sony is not seeing high results, Microsoft seems like they're giving up in the console war. Heck, I never even bought an exclusive for Xbox Series X. I've bought exclusives for PS5, like Microsoft. Where are the exclusives? The biggest reason I got Series X was, yes, to play the newer stuff, especially when I didn't have PS5. I mean, I'll still get games for the Xbox, but the biggest reason I got it was to get that Rare Play collection. Has all of the Rare games, and that's awesome. And then, of course, I played Resident Evil 4 Remake on there because I didn't have the PS5. And I'll probably get mostly just the remakes on the Xbox just to collect it in that system. But they don't have a good exclusive. So at least PS5 wins in that regard. But, you know, with Square Enix losing a lot of money or didn't make a lot of money on Final Fantasy 16 or Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, that's disappointing. And I don't know if it has to do with the censorship going on, because censorship is still an issue and people are tired of the censorship, especially when there's no harm, no foul. And if it's a M-rated game, of course, let's not forget Stellar Blade. I mean, it said that they said they weren't going to censor it, but then they censored some of the stuff. It's like, okay, backtrack, why don't you? They're literally backtracking on what they just said they weren't going to do. The game's pretty fun though, I will say, but yeah, this console generation's just been staggering. And then they want to make a whole new console? Even though this feels like it's just beginning. COVID really hit hard but they still delivered great games in the early 2020s. And now that we feel like we're already getting there into the PS5 and Series X, even though it had a very slow start, why jump to a new generation? As much issues that I have with Nintendo, even right now, at least they kept their console going. Yeah, they did cut the Wii U short, which was disappointing, but you know what? I will respect Nintendo for this. They didn't decide to switch out on the Switch right away compared to Sony and Microsoft, which they're literally thinking on doing now, which is irritating. Nintendo at least allowed the Switch to last this long, which is good. And even if they do come out with a new Switch, I will get it at some point, but I want to play the ones on the Nintendo Switch. I have a lot of Nintendo Switch games. Maybe not like a big, massive collection. I have several, but there's still a lot more I want to play. And even the stuff that I downloaded on the Switch, it's still a fun platform. And I will agree that I think it is time for them to upgrade to a new console. But PS5 and Series X, no. I feel like we're just getting started on that. I think they should just have the idea to make certain games available for PC. But then again, I guess they do want competition, which I don't mind competition. I like competition. That's what makes the economy go, baby. But yet, the sad part is seeing all these layoffs, seeing just the issues going on. I wonder what the heck is going to happen. It's quite sad. I do miss, I wish the older days of video game development was like how it was back then, just with all the new stuff coming out. You know what I'm saying? Keep the old school way of how we used to do it. I mean, Square Enix, back when they were Squaresoft, they were pumping out a lot of stuff. Year after year after year after year after year. Do you remember those times? Heck, even Konami were really cool back in the day, pumping stuff year after year after year after year after year. It's just crazy that time goes by and these companies just go downhill. And now when they look at the charts and they see that this certain game ain't doing well, I'm concerned whether or not is Final Fantasy VII Remake series going to even have another threequel. If it's not performing. That is the sad reality. Anyways, I'm going to get back to playing some more games, more Stellar Blade, and yes, more Final Fantasy. And I want to jump back onto the Switch a bit more. But what are your thoughts, everyone? What do you think of the whole situation going on in the gaming industry with cutting people, spending a lot of money on stuff, having to trim that down, losing money, and not gaining enough due to these products? And do you think maybe Sony, Microsoft will possibly be done with consoles and just go with PC? And Nintendo will be the last one standing for consoles? That would be funny. But then again, PC is more available these days. Anyways, peace everybody.